أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
السلام عليكم my dear sisters and brothers ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Last week we left it off talking about the signs of the emerging Mahdi, Ajalallah Ta'ala Farajah Sharif. And today we're going to continue on and finish off discussing the signs of the Mahdi, the signs we need to look out for and understand. So last week, if I go back to my notes, we discussed the Sufyani and we finished off with the Sufyani last week, and today we're going to discuss the Sayha wal-Nada wa Dhabh al-Nafs al-Zakiyya. So we're going to discuss these two signs today and hopefully finish them off by the end of today, so we can move on with other aspects of the Mahdi and other emerging hadiths that we can talk about. So regarding the call from the sky, the Sayha wal-Nada, there are many misconceptions regarding the very important sign. For the sake of providing only information that we know is thabit, so we accept as factual, I will only discuss the ahadith repeated to us by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and our infallible imams alayhim salam. Inshallah, we can better gain understanding of what is the call from the sky, whose voice will we hear, is it a voice at all, and what it signifies. There is a narration from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq alayhi salam that says, ينادي مناد من في شهر رمضان عند الفجر من الناحية. What does that mean? من ناحية الأشرق. يا أهل الهدى اجتمعوا. So, to translate, a voice calls out in the month of Ramadan at dawn from a position in the east. O people of Huda, gather. Now, Huda here means those who have been guided. But it's very important to know that the Imam here, when he says this, Ya Ahl al-Huda ijtama'u, he's not directly saying, this is not what the voice will say directly, but he is interpreting what the voice means, what it's trying to convey. So it gathers people of Huda, the people of truth. He's calling the people of truth together. Here Imam al-Sadiq is saying that it is the tone that is important, the tone of who is Ahl al-Huda, meaning that this is what the voice from the sky calls out. And the same narration continuing on from the Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam says, وَيُنَادِي مُنَادٍ مِّن قَبْلِ الْمَغْرِبِ بَعْدَ غَيْبِ الشَّمْسِ يَا أَهْلِ الْبَاطِلِ اجْتَمِعُوا. So a voice calls out before night, after the setting of the sun. O people of falsehood, gather. So the second voice that calls out to the people of falsehood is not the same voice that we hear in the morning, that calls out to the people who are guided. Ya Ahl al-Huda. This is not the same voice. It also doesn't directly say people of falsehood. You know, if you say people of falsehood, like falsehood, they won't come to you. So this is what the voice signifies. It calls out to the people of falsehood. The people of falsehood will respond to this second voice at night. Falsehood here is used to refer to a name. O follower of so-and-so, gather. So when it says, O people of falsehood, gather, this falsehood is an actual name. I won't mention that name for the sake of keeping peace. Also, a narration from Amir al-Mu'mineen, Imam Ali alayhi salam, who is recorded to have said, as mentioned by the fifth Imam, Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, if the voice calls from the sky that إن الحق في آل محمد فعد ذلك يظهر المهدي على أفواه الناس. What does that mean? The truth is with the family of Muhammad. Is the voice going to directly call out that the truth is with Ali Muhammad? the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam? No, here it's signifying who the people of Huda are. Al-Haq, people of Haq, people of the truth. And the Mahdi appears on the lips of the people, meaning that they mention him, speak of him, and they drink from his love. Addressing the fact that these people will accept the government and ruling given to them by the Mahdi, Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajah. This narration is repeated by Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam when he says, إذا نادي المنادي باسم المهدي من السماء يظهر اسمه على أفواه الناس يصرون فلا يكون لهم ذكر غيره. So when they mention his name, they won't mention name any other, meaning that they won't give the position of haqq to any other than him. Now why is this part important? ولا يكون لهم ذكر غيره. And there won't be a mention of anyone other for them, lahum, for them, meaning that there will be other people whose name of someone else will be important to them, as it is equally that the name of the Mahdi will be important to the people of Huda, the people who have been guided. We can deduce from other scholars, that made it easy for me here, they've already deduced this for me, who have studied in this topic in detail, that people who have been guided, Ahl al-Huda, will not feel doubt when the second caller at night makes his announcement to the people of falsehood. So the people who hear the voice in the morning and they say, Haqq ya Ali Muhammad, when they hear the second voice at night calling to the people of batil, the people of falsehood, they will not feel doubt regarding the first call. Who is the second caller, you may ask? It is in fact, it's Iblis al-La'in. Imam al-Sadiq describes the call as such. فإذا كان من غد صعد إبليس في الهواء حتى يتواري عن أهل الأرض فينادي إلا إن الحق في فلان. So we all know that Iblis, he likes to play with people's mind. He's bored, he wants to test people, he wants to play tricks for his own enjoyment and for his own satisfaction. So he plays with the people. So it's like, oh, okay, there's a morning call. I'll make an afternoon call, calling to these people and try to trick people to come to the side of falsehood. If the second caller is Iblis, then who is the first voice we are meant to 100% believe and accept the words in? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
And the Imams alayhim as-salam have mentioned repeatedly that when nida yakun bisawt Jibreel al-Amin alayhi as-salam, the call is in the voice of Jibreel alayhi as-salam, who is known as Amin, the trustworthy. Imam Zain al-Abidin, the fourth Imam alayhi as-salam, said the voice is described as such. The voice echoes in the atmosphere. It is recognized to be neither human nor jinn. It is in neither direction from the east nor the west, so people don't know which direction it's resonating from. It wraps the earth and it says, إلا إن الحق في علي بن أبي طالب وشيعته. And that is the makhlusa or the completion of what we can gather from the nida or the sayha. When I was little, I used to call it ayatla because I didn't know the difference. But so we move on to the fifth major sign and the last sign. So last fifth major sign that will occur. If we have to go through a timeline, a critical event that will occur and is one of the only signs that is directly related to a date, a time, and a place. Some researching the sign may encounter difficulty and who and where the nafs al-zakiyya, which is the fifth and last major sign, will be killed. So who is the nafs al-zakiyya? Where will he be killed? There is some confusion regarding this. And whether these two personalities, which are known as nafs al-zakiyya, are pure, are they killed? These people are pure. Are they killed simultaneously, or do they lose their lives separately in different places? by the hands of Ahl al-Batil. The easiest way to ensure we know the difference is to recognize who he is. He is a Hashimi. He is from the descendant of Ali Muhammad. At this point he has heard the call of Jibreel inviting him to the Mahdi, and is responding the call to the Mahdi alayhi salam. The army of the Sufyani has also heard the call. So they make their way from Iraq to Mecca to kill the followers of the Mahdi. When the Sufyani army draws nearer to Medina, the Nafs al-Zakiyya escapes or moves to Mecca, where he reaches and he raises his voice in the call, an invitation to the Prophet's household, لآل Muhammad alayhi salam. At this point, he is slaughtered on the 25th of Dhul Hijjah by the Ahl al-Batil. يذبحوا ظلماء وعدوانه بلا جرم بين الركن والمقام. And the Prophet says here that people asked him, بين الركن والمقام. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, بين الركن الكعبة ومقام إبراهيم وعلى بعد أمتار من الكعبة. The criminals, he says, the oppressors and the enemy of the Mahdi kill him between the Kaaba and the resting place of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, just meters away from the Kaaba. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, لا يطهر الله الأرض من الظالمين حتى يسلك الدم الحرام. What does that mean? What is the name? So to translate that, the earth will not be purified from the oppressors, until the Nafs al-Zakiyya is slaughtered. And it had a significant meaning. So what is the name of the innocent who is said to be slaughtered like a sheep by the followers and leaders of falsehood? A narration from Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam, وقتل غلام من آل محمد بين الركن والمقام اسمه محمد ibn Hussein. A man killed from Ali Muhammad between the corner of the Kaaba and Maqam Ibrahim, and the resting place of Ibrahim. And his name is Muhammad ibn Hussein. His name is Muhammad. He is the son of Muhammad ibn Hassan. His name is Muhammad, and he is the son of Hassan. The Prophet ﷺ states that the Mahdi will not rise until a Hashemite is slaughtered, and then the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sent down upon the murderers from the sky and from the earth. Now, why is this important when it says the wrath of Allah is sent down upon the murderers from the sky and the earth? Because it reaches a point, the Ahl al-Batil, they reach a point of istihthar, like they've manipulated Islam in such a way that it reaches a point when they shed blood in Kaaba, near the Kaaba, just meters away from the Kaaba. It's as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, well, that's enough. I've given you your chance. You've done everything you could. You've exercised your free will in the will of Iblis or the Shaitan. It's like, that's enough, no more. So, and then after that, the Mahdi makes his appearance. He said, غضب عليهم من في السماء ومن في الأرض. Like this anger of Allah, said, that's enough, no more. You've done what you could. You've killed innocents, you've tarnished my name, you've tarnished Islam, that's it. Another hadith from Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam mentioned that after the Sufyani departs from Kufa, and we discussed this last week during the events of the Sufyani, when he reaches Kufa and the havoc he causes there. After he reaches Quraysh, and Quraysh is modern day Mecca, or the Quraysh is referring to the people of Mecca during the time of the Prophet. There he fights also. So he reaches Quraysh and he fights. And he kills from the Ansar 400 men. Now who are the Ansar? Ansar are followers of the Mahdi. Different to Ashab, there's a difference between Ansar and Ashab. Ashab we know is only 313. Ansar are the followers that are said to be in the thousands. 400 men and their sons and their brothers, the people from Quraysh, So the Sufyani kills people from Quraysh. And he kills 2 siblings, a brother and a sister. Because the brother calls to the Mahdi, he calls to the Haqq, he calls to the truth. And the sister calls for the right of Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam. Here the Sufyani put them both on the cross. It doesn't say whether they are killed before or after he places them on the cross. Their names are Muhammad and Fatima. They are the cousins of Nafs al-Zakiyya. So this is where the confusion lies when we talk about Nafs al-Zakiyya. People think 2 people. Who is it? So the Nafs al-Zakiyya is the one that is slaughtered in Mecca, and the other one is said to be the brother. There's 2 siblings, Fatima and Muhammad, who are placed on crosses. So they are the cousins of Muhammad ibn Hassan. It is important to note that the reappearance of the Mahdi occurs 15 days after the slaughter of Muhammad ibn Hassan. On the 10th of Muharram, when the words such as Ya Thar al-Hussein are said in Mecca near the Kaaba. And that is my conclusion regarding the signs of the reappearance of the Mahdi. Now can I just mention, just a quick note saying that the signs are not as important as accepting the truth of the Mahdi. Now the truth of the Mahdi is to fight against oppression. It's equality, and it's haqq, it's the truth. And next week I want to start talking about what truth means and what truth means to the Mahdi, because it's such an important topic to discuss and understand when we discuss the Mahdi, because it leads us to understand his government, the reason behind the things that happened during his government, and how we can better connect to our Savior. And please don't go home, because sometimes your brain goes, I want to know the signs. Has this happened? Has that happened? But we're not really ready. You know, if the Mahdi comes here and, for example, I own 2 homes, and he says, gives one of your homes to someone else. I'm like, I worked for this, you know, I don't want to give anything up to anyone else. That's what I'm talking about when I say haqq, truth, and fairness and equality. You know, are we ready to be equal? Are we ready to be fair? Are we ready to be 100% compassionate human beings to ourselves first? Then we can pass it on to other people. And that's what I want to discuss next week in detail, maybe for the next couple of weeks, because it's a big, heavy, lumpy topic to discuss. And that's, inshallah, my completion of the signs. I hope it satisfied your curiosity. Please don't dwell on the signs. They're not as important as the Mahdi himself.